All I hear is talking, I don't sweat that. If they don't trust me either, I respect that. If she be down the ride, oh, I bet that.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is JH. How y'all doing, Postal family? Everybody good? Everybody cool? Everybody clean? Everybody crisp? Everybody ivory? Let's talk. I'm gonna touch on a few different topics today because there's so much going on in the news. We're gonna talk on the mail handler at the plant situation. We're gonna talk on the clerks at the plant situation. We're gonna even touch on the RCA situation a little more in depth. We're gonna talk on the clerks at the station. It's about to come down the pipe for you too, as well as the tractor trailer operators. I wanna give you guys the full scope. I'd like you to understand that I am not passing information that I like. I'm passing information that is there readily available to you. If for some reason this information bothers you, just join the fray. It bothers everybody. But it's not for you to be upset with me. A lot of the stuff that's going on, I've been mentioning for years on how to carry ourselves and things that were happening. First, we're going to go back and touch on the RCA situation just a little bit. So a lot of the RCAs are very aggravated. I've been peeking at a couple of your Facebook posts and, oh, they don't have enough information, where they getting this information from, etc. When you guys walk around, you're supposed to walk around with your scanners, right? Right. And you guys have heard it. You clerks have heard it. You RCAs and carriers have heard it. When you go back to your station and you walk up to the at 204B or the supervisor in the afternoon and they say, hey, you missed the scan. And you're like, oh, okay, well. And then the next day they say, hey, you missed the scan. And you're like, well. And then the next day they say, hey, you forgot to scan this. And you do realize that these scanners, this is a FYI for anybody, these scanners, and for tractor trailer operators too, they call breadcrumbs. The scanners have a GPS in them and they have breadcrumbs. Breadcrumbs basically leave a trail of every move that you make while you are delivering. If you didn't know, now. And when you utilize your scanner as an RCA, you're supposed to scan every package, right? Right, cool. And then when you get to the door, you're supposed to scan a package as well. The breadcrumbs would show you stopping in front of the home, and it will also show you walking to the door, scanning the package at the door, delivering it. Problem is that a lot of you RCAs, this is where we hurt each other. We hurt each other. Here goes. You guys will scan your package and put it with the bundle that you're gonna use, but you'll scan it at the station while you're actually casing your route. Well, it kind of defeats the purpose. You're not getting credit for the actual delivery. You're not getting the time allotted for the actual delivery. Who's to blame for the carriers screwing up? The carriers. Because when you walk around with your scanner, again, every stop you make, every move you take, they'll be watching you. And you have given them the data. Nobody else except for you. Just understand that. When you guys don't do your scanning of your this and your scanning of your that, let's say you had red plums and you had all these little things that's supposed to go to every door, and you leave your scanner in the vehicle and you guys don't bring it with you, you're not helping yourself. Jay, but it takes too long to do all of that. That's the point. You're supposed to give them the data that says, hey, this is taking longer. But because of our lazy ways, mine included, because truck drivers has to start scanning as well. We decided we were gonna be rebellious. Screw the scanning. And now what happened? Now they collected 2 years worth of data. It started back in 2021 and now it's 2023. And the data for 2 years says, yo, you don't need all that time. That's what it is. When you guys get a new development right next door to where you deliver and you don't fill out that form and says, hey, there's a new development coming out. It takes a few minutes to do. There's a new development that's going to be part of my route. I need you guys to reanalyze this route because it's going to take me longer. You didn't do it. You didn't take the time to do it. Don't say this is Jay knocking anybody. No, this is what happens. How do you know so much about this stuff, Jay? Because I'm plugged into the place that I'm supposed to retire to or retire from. I'm plugged in. I need to know what's going on to know that I have a job. Well, thank you. Thank you guys, because now they said that you guys ain't doing your job correctly. They're cutting back your hours. You're mad as hell. I understand it because you were coasting through. I ain't gonna get into full detail because Miss K said the same thing. But what happens next? They are taking that money away from you, cut almost $1 billion off of you. The RCAs, mail handlers, you're next. Man, I read it in a lot of my posts within the last 2.5, 3 months. Didn't really understand it, didn't think it applied to me because it really don't. But they are cutting mail handlers from tour 2. Why? Tour 2 is usually the morning tour. The morning tour between 7 o'clock in the morning to 2:30, 8 to 3:30, 9 of etc. They're cutting that. You hear me? They're eliminating a full tour for mail handlers. Okay, I don't know if they're doing this with the clerks yet, but I'm assuming that's coming next. Why? Because they feel like the mail handlers on that specific tour are not necessary. As many as they're supposed to be are not necessary. They're not producing, whatever the case may be. Typically, the people that have that cake tour, the 9 to 5s, the 7 to, whatever it is, are the people that have been there for a while, because people like to, they wake up on a regular time and they go to work and then punch out and get the regular timing. Again, this ain't Jay. Don't attack Jay. This is what it is. If you notice that the people that work during the daytime are a lot of the older people that are close to retirement, well, this is where the attrition comes in, because they're eliminating that tour. Now, what happens if you eliminate the tour? They're not eliminating the people. I want you to understand that. They're not eliminating the people. They're eliminating the tour and the position that the person bid on. So now they have to reorganize. Shut up, Jay. Reorganize the bids and then allow everybody to bid over. What happens then? The people with seniority get to bid. They get to pick the best bid that they want. Typically, is not going to be a bid that they want, and they will be forced out because, man, this is some bullshit. I'm not doing this. And that's what the attrition comes in. Attrition, pushing people out. So they are going to be eliminating tour 2 nationwide in all the plants, unless you have one of those super plants that has so much work and so much volume that they need them. But as of right now, from the word that I'm getting, word from the streets, is that they will be eliminating tour 2. And you have to reorganize. Why? Because they're going to maximize the productivity of every employee. All of this, no, not my job, is going to go out the window. And when they reorganize each bid, it will have a broader scope of duties. Broader scope of duties, because they can do that. They can't just eliminate one person and say, hey, I'm giving you, Jay, more duties to your specific bid, because then I have a grievance. But if they eliminate every single bid and then reorganize it again and change it and add it. How do I know this? Because they do this with the truck drivers all the time. And add some stuff to it. Now it's no longer targeting Jay. The whole department has the option. Oh man, well, Jay's run was sweet before, but now they added 3 more stops to it. The mail handler bid was sweet. All he had to do was sit on the forklift all day. But now he got to sit on the forklift for only 6 hours or 5 hours, and then he has to go throw bundles or whatever the mail handlers do, or work the dock or whatever. So they're given a broader scope. You guys that have been there for a while know what I'm talking about. And yes, you can speak to your union reps and ask them, can they do that? Yes, they can. They can. So that's what they're doing with the mail handlers. And they just eliminating the whole section. How about the clerks at the plant? Clerks at the plant, I believe you're gonna be safe for a while, but they're gonna be cutting back on certain hours that they work. Now, the clerks of the plant, they constantly work at a machine, so they're constantly moving. But if you eliminate a tour of mail handler, well, once you're finished running your letters, who's gonna pull those GPCs out? Well, it's not gonna be a clerk, because clerks are not supposed to do that. They may have 1 or 2 mail handlers lingering around to pull it, but it's not going to be to the capacity that it was before. This is a strategic move by Mr. DeJoy. And why am I so knowledgeable about this? Backstory. I've been driving trucks for 26 years, okay? I'm in logistics. This is my expertise. And any logistics professional will know that we do not run efficiently. We have to look at the big picture. So no, it's not that I get paid for passing this information on. No, this is common sense. And this is not knocking anybody. This is common sense. Any business owner, any logistics professional would do the same thing. Look at Walmart. They're cutting people. Amazon cutting people. Man, there's so many people getting cut. Period. But we're not getting cut. We're just getting reorganized. And we're going to get restructured. How about the people working at the stations? I said it before and I'll say it again. In one of my videos, a couple videos ago, y'all heard me say that the clerks at the station, boy, they got some bad attitudes. Well, y'all got something coming down the pipe too. Same concept that they have with the mail handlers. They're going to be restructuring your stuff too. That's right. They're going to restructure your stuff too. For those, I was at a station the other day and I went inside. And this is a true story because I was on the phone with my supervisor and went inside to go get the mail that they didn't have ready for me, move the mail. And the lady said to me, I went and got a bag of Express to put in my 53-foot trailer, a freaking bag with maybe 2 Express mail. I'm really upset about that. And I'm walking out, one of the clerks come out to me and she's like, oh, here's an Express. I said, well, can you go get me the mail? She said, that's not my job. I said, excuse me? She said, that's not my job. I said, your job is a sales, service, and distribution clerk. What do you mean that's not your? It's not my job to walk in here and get mail. I'm in your building. That's my fault. She's like, well, I don't know. You need to. I was like, oh, come on, man. Really? Seriously? All right, you know what? No biggie. But it's that. And she ain't even been there a year yet. And that's the attitude people have, and they ain't even been there a year yet. These people are getting trained and bred by the people that have been there for many, many years, saying that's not my job. Well, sales, service, and distribution associate, SSDA. That means you sales, you service the people, you do distribution and receiving. You're a clerk, you're associate clerk. You do clerk work. It's not like you're crossing crafts. A clerk's work is so broad. Why is it so difficult? It ain't. Well, no, the grievance. No, there's really no grievance. You know how some people are assigned to do returns only. Some people are assigned to do distribution only. Some people are assigned to do the window only. Well, no, same concept that they did with the mail handlers. It's coming down the pipe. It only makes sense. So please, clerks, be aware. If you're one of those that say, no, that's not my job, that's why we're in right now, because of no, that's not my job. I go to a station almost every day, and the time that I go there is scheduled on my scanner. And my scanner says go there to do the pickup for the pre-close out at this time. And every time I go, the clerk that does distribution goes to lunch. Management got this person going to lunch the same exact time that I come there. So I'm sitting there like, yo, where's my stuff at? This is ridiculous. Now, I could blame it on management. I could blame it on the clerk. You know what? It don't even matter now because I did not get to scan mail being picked up from that station every single day at this specific time. So if they're sending Jay, the truck driver, in an 18-wheeler to go pick up mail at one specific time and I don't scan any mail to come back, guess what? They're going to abolish that specific pickup. They're going to cut that run from the truck driver to no fault of my own. I'm there, but they're not giving me the mail. So now they're going to change it out. They're going to give me something else to do. This is how the truck drivers get affected as well. This is a real nasty ripple effect, domino effect. Everybody's getting it. You zim it? I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to say, but honestly, Jay is getting aggravated all the way from the top to the bottom from management down to the average worker, I'm really aggravated. No, I'm not. But seriously, if we can't figure out how to make this work all together, we're all gonna fall. We're all gonna fall to nobody's fault except our own. All right, let's stop pushing the blame on management and everybody else. The data that we plug in is there, and the data don't lie. You see me? This is JH, and we got some more news. And we out.